LEANDRO TROSSARD to Arsenal has been confirmed. Here we go. Signed, completed, ready, done, deal, contracts, everything good. So he is going to Arsenal. 21 million fee, with 5 million in add-ons. No, obviously it's structured and everything, but that's Arsenal's new signing, and it's I think it gets the job done. So obviously, as an Arsenal fan, as we all know, Mudryk was the number one signing. Mykhailo Mudryk. He ends up going to Chelsea. At that point, I was actually questioning, who do you actually go out and sign? Who's in the backup plans? But this does show that Arsenal are well run and do have backup plans. We've heard Arteta speak about it, how they like to plan things as much to 18 months in advance, in terms of, we have players on this list, we have plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H, N, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, U, everything. I wonder what plan S actually is when you get that far down the list. But this was Arsenal's alternative plan, is to go for Trossard for a reasonable fee and keep the rest of the powder pretty much dry for the summer, where we know Arsenal will heavily go in for Declan Rice and many other signings. And I do believe you will see Arsenal spend quite a bit of money in the summer. Also, if they do get, I say if, because currently they're chasing a title, but the Champions League money that Arsenal have not had for 6 seasons will also be on play for them as well to spend. And we do know that Arsenal have money to spend, since we were about to do basically a 90 million deal for Mykhailo Mudryk. So what does Trossard bring to Arsenal? Is this a good deal? I do believe it's a good deal. It's not the best deal, obviously, because this was not Arsenal's number one target, but it's a good deal. Why? Because what Arsenal need is depth. We all know this. Arsenal's starting 11, you can name it right now, right? Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Saliba, Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, and Nketiah / Jesus when Jesus is fit, and Martinelli. That's the starting 11. Vieira doesn't get in. Smith Rowe's been hurt all season. He's just coming back. He does not get in. That's the starting 11. So what do Arsenal need? Well, what if Martinelli or Saka go? And just for everyone knows this, you're playing 3 days, every 3 days from February to May, especially if you are in Europe, which Arsenal are, especially if you are in Europa League, where Arsenal are expected to advance into the quarters, into the semis. They're expected to. They're one of the best teams in the world at the moment. You can't play Saka and Martinelli every 3. And we know Arteta says this, but it's not realistic to expect them to play every 3 days for 3 months. It just isn't. So you need more depth. That's why Smith Rowe coming back is very, very important. That's why Jesus getting healthy is very, very important. But Smith Rowe getting back into his groove of things is not really going to happen until maybe February or March, because he needs game time, and you're not going to get game time, especially when the FA Cup, next game in the FA Cup, is against Manchester City. So what if Arsenal get eliminated from the FA Cup? Well, they're already eliminated from the Carabao Cup. So then you just have Europa League, which goes back in March, and Premier League. And right now, Smith Rowe's not going to get a lot of minutes in the Premier League with Martinelli in front of him. But if they do advance in these competitions, Arsenal need to be prepared. If injuries happen, Arsenal need to be prepared. And so LEANDRO TROSSARD, to me, is what this signing is for. It is for, and it's something Arsenal have not been doing as of recent, it is for the short term. It is to cover Bukayo Saka and give him a rest if Saka needs it. It is to come on with 20 minutes to go when Arsenal are 2-0 up, and you just don't have to constantly play Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah the whole game. So you can sub out Odegaard sometimes because you have Vieira there. You maybe be able to sub out Martinelli now for if you want to put in Tierney for defensive substitution, or Smith Rowe. And Nketiah has been playing 90 minutes forever. Trossard can play on the left. And for Brighton this season, he's been playing a lot actually through the middle. So if Nketiah needs a breather, if you need someone down the middle, if you need a false 9, you could bring Trossard through there. And he can also cover for Saka on the right. Does he do something as well as Martinelli, as well as Saka, or as well as Nketiah? Probably not, but this is a quality signing. He scored 7 goals this season, 2 assists in 16 Premier League games for Brighton. 28 years old, Belgian international, gets the job done. The one red flag is that his attitude in January when he fell out with De Zerbi, you don't want that attitude issue. However, this is his one big move. At 28 years old, heading to a club like Arsenal, who are top of the Premier League, 8 points clear at the moment, which could change by the end of, by if Manchester City end up beating Spurs. But top of the Premier League, chasing a Premier League title. This is Leandro Trossard's big move. If he's not there mentally, then there's nothing you can do. He should be there mentally. He should be able to perform, but he needs to understand that he is likely to not be in that starting 11 for if Arsenal are healthy. So this solves one area for Arsenal in terms, in my opinion, of that front line, because you have, when Jesus comes back, hopefully in March, you have Nketiah, Jesus, you have Saka, you have Trossard, you have Smith Rowe, Martinelli. That's six players across the front line. Nketiah can play left and central. Jesus can play pretty much anywhere. Saka plays on the right. Trossard could play anywhere. Smith Rowe usually plays attacking mid, left mid, and Martinelli plays on the left. So you have a lot of options now that you can put out different lineups. So the one weakness where Arsenal still remains, and we know this, what happens if very key players, for example, like Martin Odegaard, well, you would need Fabio Vieira to come in. But what happens if, and this is the big one, what happens if Thomas Partey gets hurt? What happens if Granit Xhaka gets hurt? That midfield right now, Mohamed El Neni's not currently in the squad because he has a knee injury from training. So you'd have to rely on Albert Sambi-Lokonga, who has not been able to prove at all, really, of the quality that he needs. He's not been developing. The games that he has been in, it's not been good. It really has not. So if Partey gets hurt, that is the one biggest fear for Arsenal. And you fear it because it has happened every season. Excuse me. It has happened every season. It has happened even this season. He did miss that Manchester United game, but last season it happened. The season before that it happened. Partey has not been able to stay fit for a full season campaign. If he stays fit, Arsenal are clear favorites for the Premier League right now. But you can't really fully commit to it because the injuries can happen. If Zinchenko goes down, you do have Kieran Tierney. Last season, Kieran Tierney went down, you had Nuno Tavares. If Gabriel or Saliba go down, you can move Ben White into the center back position and put Tomiyasu in the back line. So the back line feels a lot more stable. It's the middle of the park now that is very, very sensitive to injuries. So this is a very, very good signing for Arsenal. Very, very happy with it, and let's see what he can do. And looking on Twitter, Chelsea have made another signing, 35 million. That takes their January total to close to 200 million in January after spending close to 300 million in the summer. Oh my lord. Like Gunner Blog puts it here perfectly, and just like that, depth. If medical and paperwork can be completed by midday, he would theoretically be available for United on Sunday. Possible by midday tomorrow. It definitely can happen. So we'll see if Trossard will be on the bench. That's one of the biggest things for Arsenal is that Arsenal have not been able to bring a lot of people off the bench. Smith Rowe will be a very, very key addition off the bench, as does Fabio Vieira. But more in Smith Rowe is just you have to get him up to speed because he doesn't have that game time. He doesn't have that, that he needs that game time. Trossard applies depth across the entire front line. I do think he's going to play a lot more than even we think. It's a very quality signing. It doesn't improve the starting 11. That's something that we've heard Arteta speak about. You want to bring in people that improve the squad. And that's why Mudryk was the number one target because theoretically, Mykhailo Mudryk could go up against Gabriel Martinelli and they'd have to fight it out for that left wing position. This one doesn't feel like that. You still clearly feel like Martinelli will be the starting left winger. You don't really feel like Trossard's going to be able to push Martinelli out of that starting 11, but it does offer the depth. It feels a lot like that, Diego Jota signing when Liverpool made it. Now, I'm not saying Trossard's near the level. He's not. He's not near the level of Jota. He's not done what Jota has done. But it feels like that because when Jota came to Liverpool, they already had Firmino and Salah and Mane set, concrete. But then Jota came in and it added the depth that they needed. That's what this Trossard signing definitely feels like. We'll see how he does. And just going through Twitter, for 25 million, we've managed to get cover for both Martinelli and Saka with one signing. That's true. I don't think Trossard is as good coming off the right. He's very good with both feet, but he's not that great coming off of the right. He's more of that central and left. Nketiah can't play 90 minutes all the way through March. I do believe you're actually going to see Leandro Trossard and Emil Smith-Rowe playing through the middle. I do believe that. I believe you're going to see them playing through the middle for maybe even that FA Cup game against Manchester City. And if they advance against Manchester City, again, that's a 50-50. You never know who's going to win that one. I would probably put my money on City because they have more depth and able to rotate, and Arsenal can't. We'll see how that goes. But I do believe he will play through the middle a little bit more. And as these guys say, Prem proven, great signing. It really is. It's not too expensive as well. I think that's the biggest thing about this signing, guys, is it's not too expensive. Because Arsenal have main targets they want to go through in the summer. I just literally talked about Thomas Partey. What if he gets hurt? That's why Declan Rice is one of the main signings in the summer. In order to get Declan Rice, you're going to have to spend close to 100 million. In order to do that, you can't go after Leao. You can't go after Diaby in January. You just can't do these types of things. You just can't. You can't be doing this. So you never know. Maybe not signing Mudryk is a blessing in disguise, but I do believe Mykhailo Mudryk is going to be a very, very good player for Chelsea. I think Arteta was so sold on him that I think Mudryk's going to be a fantastic player. He would have been fantastic for Arsenal, but this is something that Arsenal, you get the cards have been dealt a different situation. What do? This is the sign that Edu, Arteta, the owners, Kroenke, the Kroenkes, Vinay, the CEO, and Arsenal as a club, we are going for the Premier League title because that's what this signing is for. It is for the Premier League title. It's for the here. It's for the now. It's for the depth. And that's what the signing is for. Leandro Trossard to Arsenal. What do you guys think in the comments down below? Make sure you guys share this video. I'm going to try to upload here as frequently as possible about Arsenal, Premier League football. Mostly Arsenal because I am an Arsenal fan, but Premier League football in general. Match previews, match reviews, post-match reactions, and signings like this one. And remember, Chelsea literally just made a signing right now as well. The transfer market is going crazy. We'll see how it goes. I'll have the match preview up tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you guys later. Make sure you guys subscribe. Subscribe. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Peace out.